Long
I love this
time
guy.
listener, long time caller. I did deep research into how tagging is deployed, conversion tracking, and attribution. This has blown my mind, and it's crazy to me how the whole industry is so behind on knowing how to solve for this. The Tier 11 data suite is truly sweet in solving this. I love this when other people tout it, especially instead of us.
Here's what happened. Since October 21, 2023, I spent $250,000 on my own company inside of just shopping. I've spent a grand total of $7,000 on branded search. And this is 100% of all of our ad spend since inception, all the way up to January 9th. All of the ad spend is on shopping. Data Suite says, yep, there's all of your spend and all of your revenue on shopping minus $4,000. So out of 542,000, it couldn't identify 4,600. Fine. GA4 is like, out of 2,700 sales, 1,400, half of those came from paid shopping, where you only spent 100% of your ad spend. Right. 568 in direct, and 212 in organic, and 10 organic social, and 60 who knows.
You don't know what the hell.
175 in referral and across network and paid social. We never put $1 in paid social. We have 2 sales there.
That's great.
Yes, GA4, the dumpster fire. But yeah, it is unbelievable when you think of a $1 trillion company like Google that's half right. That's scary.
Right. Our tour is back.
Hey,
long time listener, long time caller. I did deep research into how tagging is deployed, conversion tracking, and attribution. This has blown my mind, and it's crazy to me how the whole industry is so behind on knowing how to solve for this.
Yep.
Yeah. We know.
It is. when you open up the hood, you're like, oh God, everything's on fire. And then Archer, now it's like, would you ever rely on in-app attribution ever? It's like
ever.
No. No.
Yeah.
I have a use case I'll share at the end if we have time. That's hilarious.
Okay, we'll do that. Yeah, the Tier 11 data suite is truly sweet in solving this. I love this when other people tout it, especially instead of us. So I feel like the constant pitch man. Blown away, guys. I wish the small guys could access things like this. Well,
all right. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry. I can't wait. Here's what happened.
Sorry, just as John's going off the rails.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Just hang tight, everybody. You're gonna come with me on a fast journey. Since October 21, 2023, I spent $250,000 on my own company inside of just shopping. I've spent a grand total of $7,000 on branded search. And this is 100% of all of our ad spend since inception, all the way up to January 9th. All of the ad spend is on shopping. Data Suite says, yep, there's all of your spend and all of your revenue on shopping minus $4,000. So out of 542,000, it couldn't identify 4,600. Fine. GA4, GA4 is like, out of 2,700 sales, 1,400, half of those came from paid shopping, where you only spent 100% of your ad spend. Right. 568 in direct, and 212 in organic, and 10 organic social, and 60 who knows.
You don't know what the hell.
175 in referral and across network and paid social. We never put $1 in paid social. We have 2 sales there.
That's great.
Yes, GA4, the dumpster fire. But yeah, it is unbelievable when you think of a $1 trillion company like Google that's half right. That's scary.
Right. But it's half right half the time then. So
50% of the time it works 0% of the time.
50% of the time it works 0% of the time. Exactly. Oh my God, we've got so many questions
all right,
here.
Let's keep going.
All right, we gotta go. I think we should go rapid fire here because
right,
we only have 17 minutes left.
Yep. Okay.
All right, here we go. Bodea again. Oh, sorry, already looked at that one. Sorry, I'm being producer and host at the same time. It's very, very hard. We already did that one. Okay. Job to freedom. I smell another affiliate here.
Hey.
All right. You want to read these off and then just give as much as you
can? Do you have a kind of feeder strategy for YouTube ads? Anything you test that work well? Yes. So, yes, we actually have a consulting client that we're testing this on, and it's actually a tier 11. They're getting tier 11 data suites. So we'll have some case studies for that soon.
Feeder strategy for YouTube ads, by the way.
Yeah, it's a tier 11 client.
Yep.
So it's super. So we'll have data suite hopefully to hop on. But yes, it is working. We believe we're using in-app metrics to confirm, which is why we need data suite to actually show the truth. But it seems like it is absolutely working. We have a prospecting, a remarketing, and then sort of a branded YouTube, like if they have seen that and if they have Googled and all the other stuff. But yes, it is working. It doesn't look that great, but we actually see ticket sales in that area scaling. So good on there. So we are working on that, and that will be coming out soon. We're in the lab tinkering.
Oh, can't wait for that one. Soon to be coming on a Friday live near you. Hakeem Emma has a question.
Hey, John. First, thanks for all the info you guys provide. You're very welcome. If you have one PMAX campaign running for a long time with 3x ROAS and 1,000 conversions at 30 days and a lot of SKUs, 6,000, for example. Okay.
Does he have a second one? Yeah. He's got
How do you structure your feeder strategy to scale more? So the best thing I would do right now is not reallocate, take an incremental 20% of your daily ad spend and add a standard shopping campaign on a 40% T ROAS with the same exact overlap in SKUs. What this is going to do is stop the decay of the audiences by going to too much remarketing and too much re-engagement and constantly be fed with new customers. And then you're going to measure this by the total ad spend between the two campaigns and the total revenue inside the two campaigns. But like the case study earlier today, don't let that fool you. Look at also the amount of new customers that should then start to increase.
Got it. He also has this question here, which he sort of kind of answered. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do search just yet. Just do shopping and PMAX because those are the two overlaps that first are going to happen. Also, make sure that your PMAX, if it's not a feed only, then you could do search feeder strategy. So do a max clicks exact match. But if your PMAX is a feed only go to shopping first.
Yeah, now it's how to structure your feeder strategy to scale more if you're just listening at home. And yes, Bodea Tutor, we love testimonials for people on this. I totally agree with you. Good to know there's questions and options out there. And that is Tier 11 Data Suite. Hint, hint. tier11.com/apply. Inderdeep Singh, I just butchered his name, but he has a question. Hi, John.
He's always here too, and we always get it wrong. So sorry about that, man. Hi, John. I've been running search ads for lead gen, and as always, it's doing great. Do you suggest adding more channel to scale like PMAX display or YouTube? What should be the best strategy? Yes, if you're running lead gen on search, absolutely. YouTube remarketing is first and foremost number one. That is going to be the next thing. I wouldn't jump into PMAX because you're going to potentially cause too much competition from your existing search campaigns. But YouTube remarketing is a really safe channel to re-engage that. Make sure that you're using different hooks and different pain points, always within the first 10 seconds. So different unique selling propositions, unique value propositions. You have you versus your competitor. You have case studies. You have testimonials. Those are all things that are going to make the person who just found you convinced that they should give you a shot.
Objection killers. And who says you weren't a creative guy? Come on. Gig Loss, another name I'm butchering here, has a question here.
I don't know if you can butcher that. That's pretty much exactly how it's spelled.
Gig Loss.
Gig Loss. Campaigns deserve better friends. What campaign can I add to enhance the performance of my YouTube campaign? Focus only inside YouTube. We've got branding, etc. So I would actually run different type of YouTube campaigns. So you always have, if you're using YouTube video action campaigns, run. My next one I would say is your sequencing campaigns. You have guaranteed high frequency, and you can use a CPM and CPV. So all of the good stuff that you get with YouTube, like the high frequency, you can build into a sequencing campaign in YouTube. But then the CPM and CPV pricing that's way cheaper, about 1/4 of the price of a YouTube CPM, can then be baked in. So usually around $10 to $11 in sequencing and around $20 to $30 inside of video action campaigns. So I would add that because you have basically a campaign that is not controlled by conversions, but will forge ahead on good audiences with good engagement, with good videos, with good sequencing and good CPMs.
Very cool. Inderdeep has a follow-up here.
Got it. I've been running a lead gen campaign on max conversions, but I maxed out the impression share. Should I launch a campaign with max clicks? So here's my question: is impression share is based on the eligibility? And if you're running max conversions, let me know if you're running a TCPA or a T ROAS. If you are, it's just a too restricted. The good way you'll find out if you're restricting yourself is check out your percentage of impression share versus your percentage of click share. Impression share is based on eligibility. You want $1 a day and you get one person, 100% impression share. You're only eligible for one. Click share is going to be less than 10% because you could have got 1 billion more. So find if there's a discrepancy between them because that has to do with your bids and your budget. I would be hard pressed to say that you did max out impression share. Especially unless you're running like, a small little local campaign, which absolutely could be the case, and then just run a max clicks with exact match alongside of it.
Got it. Makes sense. Hey, Bedard.
That's
He's got a question. Golf. We know this company actually. Own a golf apparel company, and we tried the feeder strategy using 70% of budget with standard shopping. I have to assume. T ROAS 50%, PMAX 30% off budget. T ROAS 200%.
Okay.
And our ROAS dropped to 1x instead of 2x. It was previously over a couple of weeks. Any thoughts on what I did wrong?
Yeah, look at what is the amount of new customers. That's always the thing. If you're running Performance Max heavily, it's going to count half of the returning customers and then also half of the new. If you focus only on new, you will get half performance. Absolutely. Because it's no longer attributing what it used to, but it's now maybe contributing more. So this one is hard to tell, because that could be a shift in audience in the positive way. Like the case study today was a flatline ROAS, but then having $35 NCAC down to 13. So everything got way better, but Google's like nothing changed.
Right. So what if he doesn't have tier 11 data suite? What do you do in this particular case?
Do spreadsheets every day.
I guess it's
export all of the existing customers versus export all the new customers, the rate of increase along with the rate of overall ad spend increase, and then compare that year over year.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing is like Wicked Reports does tie this all together, but the integration of Blotout with the data warehouse makes it so that it's seamlessly done. Like,
well, it also gives you attribution.
Yeah, like you can trust the data. Like we're looking at that. Like we have destroyed. Like we were the biggest critics when this came out. When Ryan came out with this thing, he's like, "Hey, I got this thing. I bumped into this guy from Blotout. We bought into Wicked Reports. We did this stuff." And we're like, yeah, me and you were like, yeah, this is never going to work. And then we started seeing the results. We're like, holy shit. You can
so
actually
accurate.
see everything. It's so damn accurate.
What Abe is going to have to do is basically say all of those existing customers, or let's say the new customers didn't increase, we would have to assume that's from his changes and nothing else. And that's where this gets a little bit risky, because if it's not, and it just happened to have a better metric that week, you increase your ad spend, things go the opposite way, and then you can't understand why.